friends. This is Reverend Myra. Thank you so much for joining me this week for our weekly Pastor's Update. You know, I couldn't stop thinking about the events of Wednesday in Washington. And I imagine that we are all still reeling from the insurrection that was staged at the protest enacted at the Capitol. In horror, we witnessed the ideologies of white supremacy shaping our politics, our nation, and our democracy. I couldn't help but remember how spatial and structural racism showed up differently for those of us who are people of color whenever we protested for justice for George Floyd and Daniel Prude. When we marched on the public safety building here in Rochester, we were met with barrier fences on the sidewalk, sharpshooters on the roof, sheriffs in the parking lot, troopers on the bridge, and police in riot gear armed with chemicals guarding the front of the building. At the simple shaking of a fence, or tossing of a plastic bottle, or attempting to walk up a particular street, we were met with riot police, pepper spray, road blockage, rubber bullets, threats, and widespread arrests. So imagine what it looked like and felt like to see a predominantly white crowd of protesters storm the Capitol after openly announcing it on social media, its intentions, bringing pipes, bombs, and guns. It was telling that racism is a system in our country and not just an event. Subsequently, protesters were welcomed to the doors of the Capitol. They were allowed to destroy barriers, climb walls, attack officers, and breach the barriers, the chambers of political leaders, to disrupt proceedings. All of this with minimal engagement, selfies being taken, and a hesitation for almost 3 hours to bring in the National Guard, despite the fact that an officer died of his injuries and a woman was shot and killed breaching a broken window. This last week's event was just heartbreaking to me. Racism was so stark. There was no denying it. I believe that we're being called in this moment to see the underbelly of America's racism and to work to end it once and for all. It is critical to keep up our collective calls for justice, for equity, and for reimagining a policing blueprint, a system that was patterned after slave patrols, that is in need of transformative change. I know that Jesus is counting on each one of us to create a more loving and a more equitable world. So don't give up. We want to thank you, all of you, for your amazing generosity to Sister Margie on her retirement. And this week in the bulletin, we have a beautiful note from her to all of you, and I will read it to you. Thank you, Spiritus Christi, for the extraordinary gift of over $15,000 for my retirement. There are no words, no quotes, no songs or poems that can capture the gratitude and joy in my heart for your extravagant generosity. I so wish that I could have given each of you and every one of you a big hug on Sunday at the Mass. But I will surely do that when we are all together again. Hopefully, it won't be too long from now. I am not going anywhere, so I will be seeing you at church and many of the Spiritus events as soon as we can. Stay well and safe. God bless you. Love, Sister Margie. Also, friends, I invite you to join us this coming Sunday. We're excited on the 17th at the 9:30 Mass via live stream to welcome our special homilist, Reverend Ricky Harvey from Mount Olivet Baptist Church will be our guest homilist. And so we're excited about that. I hope that you join us on Sunday at 9:30. Also, if you are new to the parish, our next new parishioner meeting is next week on Tuesday. at 5:30 via Zoom. And if you need the link, you can just go to our website and find the Zoom link for our new parishioner meeting. Our Young Adult Mass is happening on January 28th at 7 o'clock. So I hope you'll join us for that as well. Our very own Aaron Lynch will be our guest homilist and preacher, and our amazing young adult band will be playing. So you're in for quite a treat. So hope you'll join us for that. We send our hearty happy birthday this week to Mike Ramick, our business manager in the office. Mike will be turning 66. And Mike came to us when he was 35 years old. 35 years old, we were able to steal him from the county. And what a blessing he has been and a gift to this community. So happy birthday, Mike. We send our condolences to Kristen Walker, our young adult minister, on the death of her grandmother. Kristen, we send our hearts to you and our thoughts to you and our prayers to you. We also send our deepest sympathy to Cecilia Krokenberger and her family on the death of her daughter-in-law's mother, Tara Kramer. Cecilia, we send our hearts to you and our love to you and our prayers to you and your family during this time of grief. Well, friends, the snow is coming, but there's always a light that we all carry inside to keep our hearts warm. And so keep letting that light shine in you this week, and keep partnering with God to make our world better and to bring the light. I love you and thinking of you, and I look forward to seeing you next week for our weekly Pastor's Update.